Nikesh, I'll start with you if I may. How much was this deal, and I want to focus on the technology landscape here, how much was this deal a direct response to the Wiz Google deal, and generally the domains the hyperscalers are focused on right now when it comes to security?
Well, I think these are very different transactions, Ed. Look, from our perspective, if you look at the last 2 years, what has gone on? What has gone on is that we're seeing this huge conversation about AI. Now, most lately, and I just saw your segment prior to this, you guys are talking about billions of dollars being spent. Well, what's those billions of dollars going to result in? The billions of dollars are going to result in tremendous amounts of AI adoption around the world on two vectors. One, we get very smart models out there that are going to be executed by companies. On the other side, there's going to be tremendous amounts of agents out there that are going to start accomplishing tasks on our behalf. Now, if you imagine the proliferation of agents for companies, for individuals, you're creating a whole new attack surface from an identity perspective. The more agents, the more possibilities those agents can be hijacked, taken over, and be used for cyber attacks. In that context, it became imperative for us as a comprehensive cybersecurity player to make sure we have the identity solution in the market. And if you look at the market and the identity space, and we can talk more about it, the number one company who understands identity security in the world is CyberArk. So we think they're poised at the right place to be able to capitalize on that opportunity of AI being deployed everywhere. At the same time, we need to have a platform that reacts in real time because AI is going to make it easier for attackers to go and attack people quickly. So from both those vectors, it became imperative for us to make a move and deliver an identity capability in our portfolio to make sure that we can secure our customers. So that's why this makes sense.
Okay, Udi, if AI agent and the offering there is absolutely critical, what's CyberArk going to get from this relationship being a part of Palo Alto Networks, particularly like with your existing partnerships and customer base?
No, absolutely. Look, as the founder here, we had the vision that identity is a security problem, not a management problem. And then the attackers followed. And in 90% of attacks, that's how they get in, and also how they propagate. And as Nikesh said, there's an inflection point because you add on top of that, into that fire, you add machine identities and AI agents that behave like a machine, and somewhat like, and they're also relentless like a human. So they behave like a machine and relentless like a human. So we are excited to join Palo Alto because of the scale and the technology integrations that we can bring forward. We already have integrations that we started to work on as a partnership, and we just saw that Palo Alto with its platforms can correlate data, can leverage insights to stop attacks in seconds, and together we can bring identity security to tens of thousands of organizations out there. We're proud at CyberArk, we're proud to have 8,000 customers out there. Palo Alto has 70,000 plus customers. We have many joint channel partners, and together we're really going to go global.
Going global, Nikesh, and I get this from the platformization strategy that you have in particular. Talk to us about the operating margin and how you ensure that that remains amplified, because you've done tuck-ins, you're an acquisitive guy. How does this, in the longer term, feed profitability, feed the growth story of Palo Alto Networks?
Look, Caroline, I've always maintained for the last 7 years that if you want to be successful in enterprise, you want to be a large enterprise software company, you have to scale. If you look at every enterprise company, look at the top 10, all those companies enjoy high margins, and that's driven by the efficiencies that they get from go-to-market and sales and marketing. I think the fact that we can work with CyberArk to work at 3 levels. One, we think there's a huge opportunity in accelerating the top line for CyberArk and identity with the partnership Palo Alto. We have a global presence. We have more presence in Europe than they do. We have more presence in Asia Pacific. We have product ideas together which allow us to innovate and drive the top line. Coupled with the fact that we have a reasonably efficient backbone we run our infrastructure on. We're pushing 28, 29% margins, and we have set a target north of 30% for our company. That's going to be a huge step up from where CyberArk operates, and we think we can get them there and collectively perhaps aim for higher. Not just that on the margin side, but also on the cash flow side as a consequence of us being able to drive better margins. So we think there's synergies both in driving top line, there's synergies in bringing our scale capabilities to CyberArk's backbone and infrastructure, and I think we already articulated that this is going to be both gross margin and revenue accretive right from day one. In addition to that, we expect we'll get to cash flow accretion in about FY28, but this doesn't include all the go-to-market top line capabilities that we're going to spend the next few months making sure we get them execute and implement it collectively, or be ready to execute in cases where we need to merge them together.
Udi, are the CEOs that you've been speaking to and the ones that you're now going to win over with this combination, are they as aware of agentic AI's risk factors as you think they should be?
It's the number one thing they're hearing from their chief security officers when they ask, and when board members ask, what are you worried about now, is the proliferation of agents. And like I said, relentless agents that want to get the job done. And of course, in any simulation of an attack, they find that identity is the source of how attacks get in. So identity is top priority for organizations already, and sprinkled with AI on top, it's rising up there, and it's one of the biggest, maybe top concerns for chief security officers and CIOs.
Nikesh, I spent all morning staring at CyberArk's share price chart over the last few years. Even prior to the reporting on the deal.
As well or not? Ed?
Yeah. So I'm sure you'll tell me that this is worth every single penny, but just use it to say how pressing it was to get this deal done, the technology environment and the kind of core competencies that you acquired, even the premium that you may be paying.
Look, at 6.5, 7 years ago when I joined Palo Alto, we were an $18 billion market cap company. The only way we got where we did, north of 125, is by making sure we had a point of view of where the world's going to go in the next 3 to 5 years. What do we need to have in terms of capability to make that happen, and be executed relentlessly towards it. I'm telling you today, the collective stock price of CyberArk and Palo Alto are at an all-time low. Because the next 5 years from now, you will see the demand for a comprehensive security suite across multiple platforms. We're the only players in the industry who are going to be able to deliver that. You'll see a huge focus on identity. They haven't even talked about how we can take what CyberArk does from 8 million users to hundreds of millions of users. So from that perspective, we have to do this deal now. It's going to take us 6 to 9 months to close it. It's going to take us 18 to 24 months to get the products in play, in line, to go out there and conquer this market. But we're not going to get to a $250, $300 million market cap company if we don't make these moves now and work relentlessly for the next 5 years to get there.